Russia is raging on as a rare unanimous vote in the Senate passed bills to revive the World War II era Lend-Lease program in order to quickly get more weapons and aid to Ukraine without involving American troops. Joining us now to talk more about this, Ambassador Bill Taylor, former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine. Bill, always great to see you. You know, just a little while ago, the UN General Assembly did vote to remove Russia from the Human Rights Council amid the horrific images that we have been seeing from Bucha. It's a historic move, but 58 countries did abstain from that vote, including India, Saudi Arabia, even Brazil. What do you make of that?
So, Kira, that clearly indicates that the bulk of international opinion, of world opinion, recognizes the horror that Russia is imposing on Ukraine. Yes, there were abstentions. I interpret those abstentions as unwilling to vote with Russia. They are not voting with Russia. They're not voting with the West. They are just holding on. But the overwhelming majority of the people in the world represented in that room are condemning the Russians. And so that's exactly what should happen. And Kira, it's part of a broader effort to isolate and to put Russia out of these organizations. It's a pariah. It needs to be isolated and contained.
You know, maybe you can explain, when we were talking about this among a group of folks actually today, the fact that Russia was even a part of the Human Rights Council. It doesn't seem to make sense. Can you sort of make sense of that for those who were even surprised that you could put that council alongside Russia?
It is surprising, Kira. Of course it's surprising. And it demonstrates some of the problems of the United Nations. I mean, take a look at the Security Council. The Security Council is supposed to be where these kinds of wars, this kind of violence, these kind of criminal activity are prevented. This is what the Security Council is for. And Russia's there. It can cast a veto. It can stop any action right there. And similarly, you find the Russians on the Human Rights Council. You find other human rights violators on the council, Kira. So you got to question whether or not the United Nations is up to this task. And there's an argument that it's not.
So our own Terry Moran reported on Putin's daughters today and just laid out their influence, their money, and the fact that they hold positions in state-funded research and in the defense industry, and they're now being targeted by U.S. sanctions. So what does Putin's family have to do with this, specifically his daughters? And should they be targeted?
Absolutely, Kira. They absolutely should. We know that Putin and Lavrov and all the other oligarchs that are rightly sanctioned put their money in their families' accounts. They're not keeping their money in their own accounts. They're putting their money in the families' accounts. So going after the families is exactly the right thing to do. What we're trying to do is raise the cost, raise the price that the Russians are paying, not just Putin, and including his family and including all of the people around him, raising the cost to them for pursuing this kind of horror, this kind of criminal activity. This is the right thing to do, is to sanction as many of those as we can.
Former Ambassador Bill Taylor, always good to talk to you, especially when it's about an area that you know so well. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Carol.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.